Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagwan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagwan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation. Not just creation getting created. Even sustenance need to be created. Destruction need to be created. And pulling out of delusion need to be created. Liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti has his 5 phase, Agora Murti has his 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has his 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has his 5 phase, Ishana Murti has his 5 phase. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 faces of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient Enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, and Nityananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas, are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nityananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you . What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva, when you choose your Guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nityananda Paramashivam, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees, and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Jnana Paddhati, Nityananda Jnana Paddhati, powerful cognition for power of depth dimension. Let's go to the Bhagavan Satsang on Bhagavad Gita Decoded for the powerful cognition.
Let's move to the morning satsang. In Bhagavad Gita, 5th chapter, Sannyasa Yoga, 19th verse.
Ihaiva taijitah sargah yesham samye sthitham manah nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmad brahmani te sthitah.
Iha eva taihi jitah sargah esham samye sthitam manah nirdosham hi samam brahma tasmat brahmani te sthitah. The translation: here, ihaiva, in this world itself, the nature is surpassed by them whose intelligence remains impartial. For the Supreme Being that is flawless in the same, in all, therefore they remain established in the Supreme God. Krishna is too much. What he says, if you are established in the enlightenment space, in the intelligence, even now, all the rules and laws of the nature is changed. If you are established in the supreme consciousness, all the laws of the nature is surpassed. And I tell you, wherever you surpass the laws of the nature, that is what others claim as miracle. But for you, it is happening. The happening, which is the happening for unconscious fellow, is crime for society, which is the happening for the conscious fellow, is being part of the nature, flow of the society. which is the happening for the superconscious person, is miracle for society. Understand? Which is the happening for an unconscious fellow is a crime for society. An unconscious fellow does not plan and do the murder. Just yesterday, see, whenever I come to Tiruvannamalai, I have one habit. These local villages, 4 or 5 fellows are there who will give me a report. What is going on? That village talk. Who ran away with whom? Who is sitting with whom? Who is hanging around with whom? Who is killed by whom? Whose house is sold by whom? Whose house is bought by whom? I don't have time to see the news, CNN, IBN, or the international things. But I will have 2, 3 of these villages. One of my informer is this Krishnamurti. Swamiji, do you know a few days before there was a murder in Tiruvannamalai? I asked what happened, why, who. He gives me thoroughly who is the person who planned the conspiracy, who is the person who went and killed. I said, you are giving so much of information. Are you connected to police department? He says, no, Swamiji. Even police department doesn't know this much.
Hi everyone, welcome to a special masterclass on Mind Valley. Now in this masterclass, I'm going to be sharing with you.
He said, Swamiji, these fellows have done some other murder earlier. This person who got killed now is the eyewitness. If he goes to the court and gives eyewitness, they will all be convicted. I said, what an unconsciousness. See, to escape from one murder conviction, they killed the other person. Now it is going to be double murder, 2 murder. So the person who has done both the murders is not conscious person. He is unconscious. He does not even understand the ripple effect of the whole thing. So, just the happening for unconscious person is crime for society. If you ask that guy who planned and did the murder, why did you do it? He will only scratch his head. Oh, I thought if this fellow is alive, he will come to the court and give eyewitness. That may lead to conviction. Okay, that is true. But now what have you done? You have done one more murder. So naturally it is going to be now conviction for double murder, 2 murder. An unconscious person does not think through. So whatever is the flow of life for him is crime for society. For a conscious person, whatever is flow of his life, like he wakes up, morning he goes to the job, works in his office, goes for lunch, comes back again, works in his office, comes back to sleep. Whatever is his course of life, the happening, it is part of society, the flow of society. If you ask him, why are you doing this? He says, that is the way life is. It is like a common understanding. If you are a girl, the moment you are 25, get married. If you are a boy, the moment you are 27, get married. Of course, what I am saying, age is a city limit, city age limit. In the villages, it is much less. These are all common accepted understanding. The commonly accepted understanding. It's a flow of society. If this is next, then this is next. If this is next, then this is next. The conscious person's the happening is flow of society. But the superconscious person's the happening is the miracle for society. When thousands of miracles are happening around me, I tell you, I promise you, I don't do anything. It is the happening for me. People come and tell me, Swamiji, I came to Kalpataru, I did not have kids for 20 years, I asked your blessings, in 1 year I am having the child, I am so happy, When I see the surprise in their face, I understand. So you fellow, you came without any trust or faith. That is why you are surprised. Because when people come and tell me, I don't get surprised. Arey, when you come to Kalpataru, when I am in that samadhi, whatever I say naturally comes true. It is the happening for me. What is there in that to be surprised? But when these guys are surprised, they think I'll be very happy. See, I don't take myself for granted. I enjoy the devotion component of you reporting. When you come back and report to me, I did not have a child for 20 years and you blessed me in the Kalpataru, now I have a child. Your gratitude component I enjoy. There is a gratitude part in that. That I enjoy. But the surprise part I don't enjoy. Understand? I never enjoy the surprise part. It means what? See, if there is a gratitude component, you have a devotion. Yes, I did not have, I asked you, you gave me, I am grateful to you. But if there is a surprise component, I will just turn my face and walk to the next person. Because I don't feel surprised. But when you come back and report, when I see gratitude, I am very happy. I don't take myself for granted. I see the gratitude part. I do enjoy the gratitude part. But if there is a surprise part, then you did not comprehend or have deep trust. That is okay. All I wanted you to understand, just the happening, ordinary happening for me becomes miracle for you because of the consciousness established in the superconsciousness. Because it remains in the superconsciousness, in the highest intelligence, the supreme being, even the happenings are celebrated as the miracles. Bhagavan is very clear, Krishna is very clear, he uses the word ihaiva taihi jita sargaha esham samye stitam manaha nirdosham hi samam brahma tasumat brahmani te stitaha. Here in this world itself the nature is surpassed by them whose intelligence remains established in Supreme Being. See about Jnana Sambandhar, 292nd Guru Maha Sannidhanam asked me a question in Akashic reading. He put a question to me in the Akashic reading for Kala Bhairava. What all miracles Jnana Sambandha Swami did? The Akashic reading I read out 78 times he broke the nature, law of nature. Science and law of nature. I tell you that 78 incidents are miracle for us, but for Jnana Sambandha Swami, Jnana Sambandhar, it is the happening.
How amazing, Bhagavan said. How miracles is the happening, just the flow. For a common man, we are always surprised by some miracle that we call it. But Bhagavan says that is the very nature how you need to exist as divine. Manifestation is a way of life, the happening, the flow of life. With that, let's go to the Shastra Pramana for the power of depth dimension.
From the Shiva Sutras, verse 1.16. Shuddha tattva sandhanadva apashu shaktihi. Shuddha tattva sandhanadva apashu shaktihi.
Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.16. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, by fixing the self and aiming at the pure essence, cognizing from the depth of one's being that all that exists is Paramashiva, the pure essence, Suddha Tattva, and attaining and uniting with pure essence and existential reality, Paramashiva. He experiences Paramashiva and manifests Paramashiva's infinite powers. Exactly what Bhagavan spoke in this sutra, how he explained in Bhagavad Gita, powerful cognition, how it's a happening of life. It can be a miracle, something extraordinary, something which surprises a person for a common man who's living out of the mind. The mind is too small to even comprehend. But Bhagavan says so beautiful how for an avatar it's just a happening. When people come and pour their gratitude, it's so beautiful that how they understand the higher reality exists in them and manifested in their life. Just Bhagavan flowing in their life and manifesting that reality. They are in such a deep gratitude. But when they are surprised, they are not believing, they are testing, they are confirming, they are having opinion, judgment, which is all putting them out of the divinity, who they are, what they want to be, what they are, how they know that they are the ultimate, but missing the whole science just by their mind. Bhagavan is beautifully saying how you can just be and manifest all your reality. Janaka, even though he was a king, he ruled a kingdom giving all thousands of decision and clarification, and he was enlightened king. And same as another rishi who would be going begging and finding some herbs. It's the same thing Janaka says. Being enlightened is a way of manifesting all the infinite powers of Paramashiva. Tirunjana Sambandar, Bhagavan says how he broke the whole thing 70 plus times, 78 times, and the nature to manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. Same way Bhagavan says so clearly that every one of us can manifest all the powers, 463 powers of Paramashiva, when we understand that the divinity in us, the Paramashiva component in us, Bhagavan has come down, Paramashiva has come down in our Guru form to open up that dimension of us where we exist as Paramashiva. Everything other than that is of no use. It does not help us in any way, even to function the regular life. Such powerful cognition Bhagavan gave in this Shastra Pramana, and we will take this for the Apta Pramana now. Apta Pramana from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 55. Pradyumna was a son of Krishna and Rukmini, a demon. Sambhara kidnapped Pradyumna when he was just 6 days old and threw him into the ocean. A big fish swallowed the child, but Pradyumna managed to stay alive inside the fish. Sambhara's maid, Mayavati, recovered the baby from the fish and took him under her care. Mayavati had a great magical powers. She empowered Pradyumna with a great strength. Pradyumna used his own Mahamaya art to fight the Asuras. He expressed his Maya powers in the court of Sambhara. Inside the court, Pradyumna manifested dark clouds, thunder, rain to the astonishment of the viewers, and the court of Sambhara was like a thunderstruck night, even though the sun was shining bright outside the court. Finally, Sambhava powers were all destroyed one by one by the valiant warriors. Here, how amazing people lived and how each one manifested their higher dimensions as a way of life. So beautiful, the power of depth, dimming the light. Atma Pramana, to manifest the power of having the beautiful space to go beyond the nature. Bhagavan himself narrates how he manifested the power.
I don't know how many of you today observed. I got a little late for the Dvajarohanam. It is supposed to be 6:40 to 7. I told the son, don't come out till I finish the Dvajarohanam. And today 40 minutes sunrise late. See the Biddi sunrise time today. See, there's a Google thing, there's a website where the sunrise time is supposed to be time and actual time is recorded. Today will be 40 minutes late. You want to see? It was actually only after I came out, finishing the Dvajarohanam, sun was even seen in the east. Not because of cloud. Cloud means he will be seen higher.
Beautiful. Now let's hear the devotee initiated by Bhagavan sharing her testimonial for the power of death, dimming the light and switching on the light. Now let's go to the Shastra Pramana.
Electricity, and obviously I couldn't continue giving the session because I had no internet. And at that moment in my space, I was like, no, I will not let this external happening stop me from giving this session. This is too auspicious. This session is too powerful. I just cannot give up. And so what happened, the solution came. So what happened is that I had someone's phone number who was part of the session. So I called that person, he put me on speaker, and then was holding the phone next to the computer. And I declared out loud, I told everyone, this is extremely auspicious because this Kriya is to manifest willpower, will persistence. So this is what we're gonna do. We're not gonna give up. I'm gonna give you the instructions. We're gonna go through the whole sequence and you're gonna get that experience. And I was really strong in that space that I wanted to make it happen, and it was going to happen. Like nothing could stop it from happening. So we started doing, so the whole session, that whole section of the session, we did basically like that, like just my voice through the phone. Okay, and this is when it happened. So at the end of that sequence, it was time for the part where we have to light the lamps. So, and there were about like 30 people at that point who were about to light their lamps. And I remember my inner space was really joyful. Like I got really excited and I just said it in such a joyful way. I said, okay, now it's time to light the lamps. As soon as the words came out, there was not even a 1 second gap. The whole like electricity, like the whole house just became lit like all over. It came back at that very second. It was just too powerful. It was just too obvious that Swamiji just created this whole drama just to be able to show, actually out of compassion, just to show everybody his presence, that everything, like he's so real, that third eye power is so real, that the power of our Vak, like Vak Shakti, the words that we give when we are in that conscious space and high frequency, every single thing manifests. And the whole thing was so auspicious and it's so hard to convey in words, but I was so shocked when I saw the whole happening. I screamed through the phone and everybody was, you know, in that space of excitement. And I was like, oh, like the light just came back. As the words were uttered, the whole thing just started happening all over again. Then the Wi-Fi came back and I was able to connect and come back. And I tell you, like the space of everybody, like on that group, on that Zoom chat was just so blissful. Everybody was just, you know, everybody knew that they had just experienced something so powerful and such a blessing, you know, like Swamiji, out of just his compassion to clear any doubts. If ever anyone had any doubts about, you know, his presence, about power, about if it's real, if it's not real, he just took care and just attended to everyone in such a sweet way.
So beautiful sharing. Let's go to the instruction for manifesting the power of depth dimension, dimming the light, and
Prataksha Pramana. Scientific studies. What can be measured? Measuring the effects of being in enlightenment state. Vedic sciences have always maintained that consciousness is the very substance of space and time. His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Paramahamsa Nityananda, has clearly defined the existence of 11 dimensions of consciousness. As per his elucidation, space can exist by itself. On the other hand, time can exist only in the presence of space, but can still exist without other dimensions, including the obvious ones, depth, length, and breadth. Source from Avatar Shastra, Chapter 2, Consciousness, page 83. In quantum terms, thought too is energy. Every cell of our body produces thoughts in the form of signals, which may be electrical, chemical, or otherwise. These can be measured in TPS, or thoughts per second. The normal TPS of the average human being can be hundreds of or thousands. Some thoughts are processed consciously, while others are processed unconsciously. A TPS of 0 is the state of Advaita, or enlightenment. Space is made up of strings of potential energy, which are in constant vibration, spanda, leading to the creation of virtual particles. This is a very basis of the Vedic truth of consciousness. In the Avatar Shastra, Swamiji mentions quantum physicist Amit Goswami's article about entanglement between two people. Quantum physicist of Indian origin, Amit Goswami, made two people meditate together. They were separated in two chambers, one person in each. When one person had a light stroked at his eye, it caused the firing of certain frequency in the brain. Remarkably, at the same moment, the other person's brain also fired, even though he never saw the light. This proves that the energies of people intuitively affect each other.
There are two kinds of movement in the world. One kind of movement is maximum speed limit with the speed of light. That's the kind of movement that is allowed in the domain that we call space and time. That's where matter moves, that's where things look diverse. But the other kind of domain is where the speed of communication is infinite. We call it non-local. That's the domain of potentiality. And if there is instant connection in that domain, then do you see it got to be one. If things are instantly interconnected, that interconnectedness is oneness. That is the oneness that mystics and spiritual teachers talk about. That is the oneness. So simply by recognizing that objects are possibilities, we are looking at a oneness. And then it's just a question of language. Question of language. What should I call this oneness?
Whole brain activation studies were done on Nityananda Gurukul students. The Bender-Gestalt test assesses the level of whole brain activation, the student's ability to see the big picture and recall the details of it. It is more than an IQ test. It was showing outstanding results on the memory ability of the Gurukul students. It is very unusual for students to remember such a high number of Gestalt forms. Each Gurukul student attended to the test card carefully and persistently transposed the Gestalt form. Remaining calm, cool, and collected, they initially approached each Gestalt form with a keen observation and analysis of the form, and then exhibited a steady perseverance, attending 8-minute details. Source Avatar Shastra, Chapter 8, Third Eye Awakening, page 177. Charting Future Terrain with Higher Education. This article explores the role of contemplative practices within an emerging interdisciplinary area that are referred to as creativity and consciousness studies. Within the new area, consciousness is studied from an integral perspective that brings together insights from a range of wisdom traditions and modern science. Meditation is presented as an essential first-person modality for investigating consciousness, and formal and non-formal approaches to meditation and delineated to establish important guidelines for the introduction of meditation into an academic setting. The role of first-person experience helps to develop new notions of rigor and interdisciplinary learning that can lead to an expanded educational experience, which can help to develop qualities such as mental clarity, inner calm, insights, compassion, and creativity. The article closes with reflections on the importance of expanding our approach to education in light of the demanding challenges and creative opportunities in today's world. Source: Meditation, Creativity, and Consciousness. Power of Depth Dimension. Dimming the light. Setting up. For the setting up process, you will need a camera with a timestamp and Jnana if you have it. Take a few moments to set up your camera. Step number 1, download the timestamp app. Step number 2, click on video. Step number 3, ensure the time is shown on screen. And step number 4, make sure the camera is facing you. Please take a few minutes to set it up. Guidelines. Before we get ready to manifest the powers, let us get ourselves ready. For the setup, you will need to choose a comfortable location in which you will sit and ensure you can switch on a light. Step number 2, if there is a window in the room, please ensure that you close the curtains. Step number 3, set up your camera in front of you to capture the full lighting of the room. To start, step number 1, turn on the video recording with timestamp. Step number 2, turn on a bright light in the room you're sitting in. Step number 3, apply Jnana if you have it between your eyebrows. Next, bring your awareness between your brow center and gently focus while connecting to Paramashiva. Step number 4, sit straight for 21 minutes, unclutching from all thoughts that arise during the continuous chanting of the Mahavakya. Enjoy the experience. Step number 5, after the Mahavakya subsides, verify how much the light has dimmed and ensure that you captured a discernible dimming of the light while sitting in the space of manifestation on camera. Step number 6, manifestation also happens if you notice the light flickering and coming back to normal. Step number 7, after recording the dimming of the light, you can turn off your camera. Step number 8, celebrate with gratitude the manifestation of dimming the light without assistance. Next, let us get ready for the spiritual instructions.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually, our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now, let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shaktipada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here, first, we will see in Bhagavan's words, what is Shaktipada?
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and our egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg See, same way, Sadashiva, sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hence, sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada, makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes this external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. You need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, It just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness, from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya, pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here, Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness, through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving. For all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password. and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nityananda. Nityananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye, again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone, nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Jnana Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Jnana Paramashivam. 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 Om Jnana Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Paramashivamam. Nityananda 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 Paramashivamam. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivamam. 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivamam.
Verification process. Please ensure to thoroughly verify the following. Number 1, that the time and date stamp appear on your video. Number 2, that your video has a wide-angle horizontal view. Number 3, that you have not edited your video in any way and that the camera has not moved. Number 4, verify that the light you turned on at the beginning was bright and that the dimming of the light is noticeable at some point during the manifestation. Number 5, verify that your video recording is continuous, without stopping and restarting during the manifestation process. Number 6, verify that the dimming of the light has happened on its own. Now that the verification process is complete, the next instructions will show you how to upload and share your video. Thank you so much for your participation.
Beautiful. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity, Bhagavan says. The quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra. Thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the power manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nityananda Parameshivam Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nityananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nityananda.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham